name is Anna. Welcome back or welcome to my channel if you're new here. Today I'm going to show you a very simple but very delicious turkey gravy. I'm considering this to be kind of like a two-part video because I'm currently filming a video on my Thanksgiving turkey, or just my turkey recipe, the one that I always use. So I wanted to show you guys how to make a gravy to go along with it, with things that you probably pretty much already have because you're gonna need for the turkey as well. I'm gonna start by showing you how to make some turkey stock or turkey broth, whatever you wanna call it. Let me show you the ingredients so we can get started. Okay, so you're going to need some parsley. Here I have a mixture of herbs. I have a bay leaf, some sage, thyme, and rosemary. You're also going to need some peppercorns, a little bit of wine. This is totally optional, but I do recommend it because it gives the gravy a really nice taste. And I need some olive oil, some water, of course. Here I have celery, carrots, onion, and garlic. And then of course you're gonna need your turkey giblets. So here I have the neck, I have the liver and the heart, and a piece of the turkey, which I don't know what that is, but it's in the front in between the legs. Nobody ever eats that, so I like to remove it and use it for the stock instead. I'm gonna start by very simply chopping my veggies, and you don't have to peel your veggies if you don't want. I never do, but you do want to at least give them a nice rinse. If you watched my turkey recipe, you're gonna see that I'm using the same things I used for the turkey, which is great because you already have this stuff on hand. You don't have to go out, buy anything extra. Gonna need an onion. Also gonna cut a whole head of garlic in half and just keep it nice chop. As simple as that. That's everything that you have to prep for the stock itself. And now we're gonna go over to the stove so I can show you the next step. Okay, here I have a big pot on medium heat, the medium, almost medium high. And to it, I added a little bit of olive oil. And now I'm just going to quickly sear my meat. I'm doing this just so we can develop a little bit more flavor for the stock. As you can see, everything's very nicely seared. And now with the heat on low, I'm gonna add my white wine. I'm gonna bring the heat down to medium again, just so the wine can cook down a little bit and the alcohol can evaporate. Okay, so the alcohol has evaporated quite a lot. Now I'm gonna add my veggies right in here very carefully so you don't get burned. Okay, that looks pretty good. I'm gonna go in and add all of my herbs. And now I'm gonna add the water. Lastly, I'm gonna add the peppercorn and a slight pinch of salt. Our broth has to cook on medium heat for about an hour. You also want to make sure that you skim off and discard any of the impurities, so any foamy that may form on top, you want to discard that. You don't want that. I'm just gonna let this cook and then we're gonna move on to the next step. My bird is done cooking, and tell me this doesn't have the most beautiful color. Look at that. That looks absolutely fantastic. As you can see right here, we have all the drippings. I'm going to pass this through a sieve so I can get rid of all the big stuff. I'm only left behind with the liquid. As you can see here, I have all of my drippings, and I don't know why I just didn't add it straight to my fat separator. So this is a very cool little tool that you might need. Well, you don't need it, but it's very useful to have in the kitchen, especially for Thanksgiving. If you like gravy, you make a lot of gravy, this is a fat separator. The fat is gonna start separating from the stock or the liquidy part. I'm just gonna let this rest for about 5 minutes until it separates. As you can see, the fat has separated from the actual stock. I have the fat from my drippings and the stock from my dripping. I need about 4 cups. As you can see, that's less than 2 cups. That's why we made the stock. The broth recipe does make a little more than you need, but that's perfect because you can freeze it and have it ready for a soup. You can make obviously more gravy with it, whatever you want. So the actual ingredients for the gravy are gonna be some flour. You're gonna need fat for your drippings. If you find that your drippings didn't have enough fat for the amount that you need for the recipe, just use a little bit of butter to make up for it. And you're also going to use some stock. This is almost half the stock from the drippings and then half of the turkey stock that we made. Now let's go over to the stove so we can get this gravy started. Okay, so here I have a saucepan over medium heat, and the only thing I did was I added the fat. To this, I'm gonna go ahead and add the flour. And I'm just going to whisk constantly, just like so. I'm gonna let the roux cook for about a minute so it can lose a little bit of that raw flour taste. And now while whisking, we want to start adding our stock a little bit at a time. Now I'm just gonna whisk to make sure that everything is very well and incorporated and smooth, and we have a smooth mixture without any lumps. Once you see that it's really smooth, that there's no lumps, you want to bring this to a simmer until it thickens quite a lot. It's gonna take about 5 to 8 minutes, so make sure you keep an eye on it. As you can see, my gravy has thickened quite a lot. I actually don't like mine very thick. This is the consistency that I like. And remember that as it cools, it will thicken a little bit more, so keep that in mind. My gravy is ready. And it is so beautiful. I'm just gonna transfer it to my turkey boat. This does make a lot of gravy, but gravy is delicious and people eat a lot of gravy. If you find like this amount it's way too much for you, just divide the recipe in half. That is the recipe for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this super simple and easy gravy recipe with stuff that you already have on hand that you might use for your turkey. As you saw, it's very simple. You just have to make the stock, which you pretty much add everything to it, let it cook, and then you just have to make the gravy, which it only requires like 3 ingredients. Very, very simple, as you saw. I hope you guys enjoyed it and you found this recipe helpful. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.